G'day viewers, back talking at you again.
On the couch.
Yeah, look, what we're going to talk about today was sort of triggered by some stuff that was voted on in the recent American elections.
Yes.
Kind of fascinating to us that you don't just vote for politicians, you vote for any shit you've thought of in the meantime.
Yeah.
Our federal elections aren't like that, we just vote for politicians. Rarely there's a referendum. But it seems like every election you vote on every crazy bit of shit you can come up with.
Can I just say, good on you, states that have legalised marijuana for recreational use and same-sex marriage. I think we as Australians are really proud of those states that have done that, and we're hoping that maybe, just maybe,
we might get something like that over here too.
It'd be really good.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
We'll wait and see. But yeah, we won't be voting on it in an election. The politicians decide whether or not they're going to allow it. But one of the things that got us talking was a bit that was passed in California, the porn capital of the US, forcing the male porn stars to use condoms when doing le porn. Now we're talking about really the futility of trying to legislate morality like that and legislate sexual behaviour.
Now, like, I can understand that, you know, we are trying as, you know, adults and as sexperts and as, you know, responsible members of the community, we understand the message of safe sex. We understand the whole, if it's not on, it's not on. And we do understand that. We're not saying that everyone should go around rooting without a condom. However,
there's a difference between real life and pornography.
Yeah, and not least,
there is,
real life's random and the porn industry's professional and managed and controlled.
Regulated, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. The checkups that porn actors and actresses have to go through just to shoot on the day of, in addition to everything else they have to do, like their regular STD checkups, is meticulous.
And I mean, the regular STD checkups that you get for performing in porn are very different for the regular STD checks that you would get if you were, for example, like when I used to do sex work and I'd have to go and have my regular checkups. They're very different tests. I could request the extra tests, but really the number of things that they are screened for and tested for and the regularity of it when you work in porn is crazy. I mean, there is so much. I mean, I'm surprised they don't, you know, swamp you for, you know, tonsillitis as well. Like there are absolute. They're so careful, and on the times that there have been outbreaks of STIs and things like that in the porn world, it's not because these things have not been tested and regulated. It's usually because somebody has lied and forged and illegally manipulated documents to make it look like they're safe, and they're not, and then they go and infect people. However, this has not really happened on a grand scale for many years.
No, there was like one case in the last year got a lot of media coverage in the US, and because I read a lot of online news, where there was a syphilis outbreak, and there was somewhere between half a dozen and a dozen people who ended up testing positive, all traced back to one guy who lied and forged the test results. And he kind of knew, and he was in denial for ages. When people realised it was him, he kept saying it wasn't, but it was traced back to him. It was like one person, and it was newsworthy because it hardly ever happens.
Yeah, that's the thing. And look, like Viola said at the beginning, the difference between reality and the fantasy that is porn, as people watching it, as purveyors of pornography, you don't want to see condoms. Like I wrote an article a while ago because I used to write a lot of erotic stories and a lot of articles about my particular jobs that I would go on as a sex worker. I used to write for a magazine in Australia called People Magazine, not to be confused with People Magazine in America, very different. And one of the questions I would often get asked is, oh, you never talk about condoms. Aren't you safe at work? Aren't you safe at work? And so I wrote a response saying, you know, it's not very sexy. And I wrote a little kind of snippet of an erotic story where halfway in between I had to stop, open the packet, pull the condom out, go. It's just not very sexy. I mean, it's important and it's needed. And look, there are some really sexy ways to use condoms. I know, I mean, I can put a condom on better with my mouth than I can with my hand.
Hello.
Hello. Ladies. No, that doesn't work there. I don't even know why I said that.
Boys.
Boys. But so, you know, there are ways to incorporate a condom into erotic, you know, activity. But when it comes to porn and the things that you're watching, you just, and I know this because I sell porn for a living at the moment, you know. One of my jobs is working in a shop and we sell, you know, adult movies. And the ones that do come into the shops that have condoms used in them, it's very rare that we get them, they don't sell. And they really, and people will bring them up to the counter and say, oh, I don't, you know, no, I don't want this one. It's got condoms. They're just, you know, it's fantasy, it's reality. Reality, you're going out randomly having sex or even not randomly having sex, use a condom.
Yeah. The weirdness is, it's not about legislating health, it's legislating morality. There's an inherent, the porn is bad, it must be controlled and whatnot. Whereas it is so controlled. And yeah, I'm sure there are people who work in the porn industry who are completely irresponsible. There are irresponsible people everywhere. But
that's
people
right.
who work in it regularly, it's in their own interest. And they know it's in their own interest to be safe and to be checked and whatnot. They're far more rigorous than people out in the club. I mean, I could go out. Yeah, if I went out and had sex with a dozen porn stars and then with a dozen actual non-porn stars in a nightclub, the nightclub would be more dangerous.
We were talking about?
I'd be willing to do that, right? In the name of science. If someone wants to set me up for that experiment,
we've often said we enjoy our scientific research for the
I would do that.
people at home, and we do.
I'm not saying I'd enjoy it. I'd be doing it for science. All right. Don't say I don't care about you out there, because for science I'd do that. And so for it to be statistically significant, it would have to be like a dozen, 2 dozen.
Oh, at least.
Yeah. So
just
you know,
one after the other.
Bang,
well,
bang,
bang.
Yeah. Come on.
Cooling off period. Come on.
No. we just
look, it's all fantasy. Come on, bang, bang, bang. You can do it.
Intravenous Viagra, just like on a drip.
To my veins.
So legislating morality is dumb. I mean, within limits, you know, you have legislation that don't kill people, don't rape kids, you know,
don't
pay attention.
sleep with your cousin.
Yeah. But
there are reasons for these things.
you can take it too far, as in.
Yeah.
But it's like, and I, you know, this is going on a whole nother kind of track, and the Americans watching this won't get it. But it's like the bogan laws they brought into Melbourne, Australia, a while ago, where, you know, if you were caught acting like a bogan, then they could fine you. And what is a bogan? Like, I mean, come on, I walked my daughter to school the other day in a pair of black tight jeans, a flanny, and my pair of Ugg boots. I reckon I could have been arrested for boganism there.
If you then started swearing at some of the other parents.
Were you carrying a VB?
Yeah.
I didn't have my VB, no, it was before 9 AM in the morning.
Yeah.
And I don't swear at the other parents loud enough for them to hear me. So I think, you know, I think it'd be alright.
How cute. So, yeah.
No, but this idea of, creating laws around morality. And using the word, you know, and putting it under the name of safety. Is just
no.
No.
All they're trying to do is cut down the porn industry.
It's a not even stealth, but it's a dishonest way of trying to shut down the porn industry. If you want to shut it down, try and shut it down. But be honest about it. Don't do this sort of sneaky lying. Backdoor. I was trying to avoid saying backdoor while we're talking about porn, but you know, what the hell?
It's out there now.
So that's our thoughts for today. I'm sure this should set off a comment war on pro and anti-porn.
I know, it's going to be great. Can't wait to see what you have to say about it. Because, you know,
I love reading the YouTube comments.
Oh, some of you guys are
It's a little petri dish of crazy. I mean, most of our commenters are A-grade class people. But there's
it's just the occasional
spicy additives that just turn it into a whole petri dish of crazy.
I know, it's like a jambalaya. No, it's beautiful.
Oh, life's rich tapestry.
A few nuts and bolts and you know, wankers thrown in.
Yeah, look, so have at it, and give suggestions of other things you'd like forthright opinions on. We love doing that sort of thing by request.
Never afraid to give my opinion on it.
We're going to read some letters out in a couple of weeks as well. Because we've been getting emails and they're fun.
Yeah. So yeah, reader suggestions coming up, and we'll see you again soon.
Okay, bye!